when somebody's gone through a miscarriage, one of the things that they'll sometimes say is, I don't understand how I can be feeling this way because it feels like I'm grieving for somebody that I never met, or how can I feel lost for something that I never had? And I kind of understand why it might feel that way, but it's also just not how loss works. When we think about loss, we don't only lose a person. So if we lose a person, we don't only lose that person and what they mean to us, we also lose the future that we were going to have with them. So I really remember when my wife was pregnant with our first child, I would find myself daydreaming about having conversations. I didn't know whether it was a girl or a boy, so I'd picture different scenarios, helping them with their kids, giving a speech at their wedding, that kind of thing. And you spend that whole time thinking about what your life is going to be like with this person. So you don't only lose the person, you lose the whole life you were going to have with them. And that can make the future look really bleak, because all of a sudden there isn't a path laid out in front of me. I don't know what to picture anymore. So of course you lose the person. You lose the person they were going to become, and you lose the family that you were going to have. If it was your first child, you picture what it's going to be like being a little family, and all of a sudden that's not there anymore. You also, if it's your second or third, you picture your family being more complete, or what they're going to be like with their siblings, that kind of stuff. You lose that whole future. So it can feel really devastating and you can't see anything in front of you. The other factor that I think is really important here is it's not only the loss that you feel when you've had a miscarriage, it is very traumatic often because of the way that it happens. So giving birth to somebody that isn't alive, or it can be a shock completely out of the blue, that can then leave you going back over stuff like, was there something I did? Which is a really awful thing to be sat with. And the answer is no. But you can't help but think that way sometimes. Or you might find yourself then really anxious about, am I ever going to be able to make this happen? Particularly if you've had more than one miscarriage. And that can really affect you too. So it's not just the loss element of it, it's how it affects you in terms of your anxiety about what's going to happen next. So in short, of course it's a massive thing. Just because you never actually met this baby or this person doesn't mean you shouldn't feel anything about it. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. You never got to meet them. And in one way, that's the most heartbreaking thing.